You talk utter shit.
All right.
And I'm sorry. I've known you a long time. I think you've disappeared down a conspiracy rabbit hole that is frankly repulsive.
I've always been right about my conspiracies. You were wrong about COVID and you were wrong about the vaccine.
You don't give a damn about these girls. You don't give a damn about these victims. You think it's fine to smear all of them. You admit it. You proudly admit it. And I think it's shameful.
Why would I feel sorry for people that are liars?
We now know from these documents just how disgusting this scandal is, and yet still you come on shows like this and you're still in total denial.
Look, you are about to watch what I can only describe as the most delusional defense of Prince Andrew to ever hit the airwaves. We're diving into a clash on Piers Morgan Uncensored, where Lady Victoria Hervey basically goes on a mission to rewrite history. She spends the entire segment attempting to gaslight the audience and smear the victims, until even Piers, who has seen it all, finally snaps. It is a masterclass in royal apologist rhetoric, and honestly, seeing the logic fall apart in real time is something you have to see to believe. I'm going to break down the specific tactics she uses to deflect from the evidence and why this kind of narrative is so incredibly damaging. Stick around because I'm going to give my full take on this at the end of the footage. But before we jump in, do me a huge favor. We have a massive goal to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the week, and we are gaining serious ground. If you value independent commentary that isn't afraid to call out the powerful and hold them accountable, hit that subscribe button right now. Also, let me know in the comments at what point does loyalty just become delusion. Let's get into the clip.
Well, I'm joined now by my panel, the confidant of the former Prince Andrew, Lady Victoria Hervey, the royal author Katie Nicholl, the attorney Spencer Couvin, who represented several Epstein victims, including the original victim who led to Epstein's conviction, and the commentator and editor at the New Statesman, Ollie Dugmore. Welcome to all of you. Well, Lady Victoria Hervey, let me start with you, because last time you were on Uncensored, we discussed the infamous picture of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Virginia Giuffre, and you said this.
Andrew has never carried a wallet in his life. He's got a wallet in his back pocket. There's many pictures of Jeffrey Epstein with the same trousers. Jeffrey did carry a big wallet in his back pocket.
So you're saying the picture was faked?
There's nothing real about this image, Piers.
Well, what is the motive?
Because I want this guy to stay alive.
But what is the motive
in this case?
What is the motive of the person who, in your view, falsified this photograph?
Oh, well, they were taking down the royal family, weren't they?
Well, who were?
Maybe Israel. Who knows?
So we now know from the document dump last Friday that Ghislaine Maxwell sent an email to Epstein, said in 2001, I was in London when Virginia Giuffre met a number of friends of mine, including Prince Andrew. A photograph was taken as I imagined she wanted to show it to friends and family. That is clear confirmation that Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in that picture, knew that picture had been taken and it was genuine. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to now apologise for saying that it was a fake, because clearly you were wrong.
Are you kidding? Come on, Piers. You know me better than that. So I spoke to Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer about that. It was a draft statement that had actually been written by a PR person. It was not ever approved by Ghislaine, hence it was never used for anything, and it just sat there as a draft, and it ended up, look, everything ended up in the Epstein files, all right? Like, I'm even in your file.
You're in what, sorry?
I'm in your Epstein file.
What Epstein file?
Well, you're in it, obviously, because you're not a loser.
Well, we're going to come to that ridiculous statement in a moment, but what are you referring to?
I'm referring to you being in the Epstein files, of course.
For what?
Just, being at a drinks party, possibly with Ghislaine, just talking about you. You must have read it, surely.
Yeah, that's not in the files.
It is in the files.
No, that was from her deposition
no, it's
months
not.
ago.
I promise you.
No, it's not in. It's not in the files.
I saw it in the file. I've read your whole file.
You can literally search all 3 million documents in people's names. I'm not in it. The picture you're talking about The picture.
You're in the Epstein
do it
files,
after the
Piers.
show. Do it after the show. The only connection I've ever had to either of them, as I've said many times, is I met Ghislaine Maxwell for 5 minutes at a book launch in New York. She was then asked about that in her lengthy testimony, and she said under oath that was the only time she ever met me. I never met Epstein or anything else.
But just Google yourself in that government website. You come up quite a lot.
No, you're talking about other people talking about me. We're talking about the Epstein file dump that came on Friday.
But exactly. So you've come to my very point when I said if you're not mentioned, you're a loser, because people that are mentioned in it might not have even had affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein. They might never have met him. But the fact is they were mentioned possibly in an email that was sent to him. Hence, they ended up in the Epstein files. Do you get it now?
Well, I don't quite get the point you're making, but in relation to being a loser if you're not in them, do you understand how crass and stupid that looks to people when you say that?
It basically was meant as if you are a mover, if you were like a mover and a shaker in the like high echelons of society internationally, you were in those files. Hence, everybody from Ben Affleck to Matt Damon to Elton John to Meryl Streep, everybody is in those files.
Lady Victoria Hervey, I mean, you've been very steadfast in your support of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, but given what you've now...
That's quite a long name, isn't it?
Reading... Well, you know, he had all his titles stripped quite rightly, but given what you've now... Yeah. Right, but given what you've now seen about what he was up to...
So let me just give you an update. Let me just give you an update. So as of within the last 24 hours, the FBI did a statement and they said, with all the information that they have seen, all the millions of files, everything, they have come to a conclusion that this was not a sex trafficking ring.
Where's that statement?
Let that sink in. It's all over. I sent the link to your producers this morning. So
no one's been able to find that statement. So you're talking about a statement nobody has seen this statement.
The FBI has said, and I will send it to your people afterwards, that it was not. So exactly what I told you in 2019. I said, Piers, these girls were not trafficked. And that word was too strong a word. Anyway, the FBI have recently said this in the last 24 hours. It was not a sex trafficking operation. Yes.
Well, let me bring Spencer Cooven. Let me bring Spencer Cooven back on that, because you'll know better than anybody.
It's out there, and I will.
Spencer Cooven, apparently, none of this involves sex trafficking. Spencer Cooven.
There might have been girls that were abused. That is not the wording, but it was not a.
Thank you for
ring.
acknowledging that, Ms. Harvey.
So I just want to get the right information out there, because there's a lot of disinformation.
Well, yeah, and most of it appears to be coming out of your mouth. I think at the end of the day, what we need to remember,
you're making money from this.
We have nearly hundreds of young girls under the age of 18 that were sexually abused and trafficked
because you are making money
Jeffrey
from
Epstein. By Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Don't forget that we have one woman who's sitting in jail, convicted.
How much money did you make from this?
Convicted of sex trafficking.
See?
And at the end of the day, I think the problem we have is that we're giving voice to people like Miss Harvey.
I'm not Miss Harvey, I'm Lady Victoria, actually.
Oh, okay, Miss Harvey. For 20 years, people have been fighting. These young girls have been fighting to be heard, fighting to make sure the world knows what happened to them.
So how much money have you made from this?
And finally, the U.S. government is starting to release the documents that verify what these girls have been saying all along.
The FBI just verified it's not a sex trafficking ring. Okay.
Okay. Is this the same FBI that apparently is hiding additional documents and deleting names that are in those documents?
I don't know,
is it the same FBI that we're talking about?
That's what's happening. So
Yeah,
it's out there.
unfortunately, we
Even
don't-
ABC News, which is, not always the most reliable.
Victoria, here's what I just find completely baffling. That even with this unbelievable document
they also
dump,
spoke about
No, hang on, let me
Virginia, how
finish.
Virginia lied.
Let me
No,
finish,
this is
please.
huge.
Let me finish, please.
Yeah.
Let me finish. Even notwithstanding a 3 million document dump of files, which reveal the most horrific stuff
Which
going
you're
on
in and I'm in.
with
Yeah.
Epstein, with Ghislaine Maxwell, with others, you still just want to pretend there's nothing to see here. Why?
I'm not pretending there's nothing to see here. I'm just stating what the FBI have come to the conclusion it was not a sex trafficking
Well,
ring.
nobody's seen that.
Which means Ghislaine is in jail for not trafficking to anybody. So she should be released right away.
She was found guilty.
But there were no clients. There
She's
was no
serving
client list, Piers. You're not understanding it. I like you a
You're
lot.
not
I think you're a
understanding
very
she
good
was convicted
presenter.
and sent to prison.
I know it's very frustrating
Doesn't
for
get
people
it.
like you because it's just like the media has built it up into this huge thing. Yes, obviously, Jeffrey Epstein was a spy. Like, that is true. Like, he was working for various different intelligences. We know that. But the fact is, he was not lending out the girls to his friends.
He was.
Really?
We know that he was.
Everybody
We've
knows
seen
he
And
was.
sir,
We've
evidence.
seen
I
it
don't
in
know
the
what your name
documents.
is, the lawyer, but you obviously made a lot of money from this. Can you tell us what you made from this?
Can you tell us what you've done with Mr. Andrew? Can you tell us about your relationship with him and what he's told you?
I haven't seen
Why
him in
don't you
many
talk
years.
to us about what he's admitted to
I'm
you?
defending him because I know he is not guilty.
And you know this because he told you
how do
this
you know
and he
that?
talked to you about it?
I know. I've been very good so far. I was right about COVID. I was right about the vaccines. I was right about BLM. I'm right about this.
All right, Katie Nichol, let me bring you back in here.
He should absolutely be doing that. And I'm quite astonished by some of the things that Lady Victoria has said on air. I have to say, I think all of our feelings and empathy need to be with those girls. When you hear how young they were, it's truly terrible.
I'm
Piers,
afraid Victoria
I've
is...
just thought of something else I would just like to put out there because, being in my position, I have been in a position where I have been able to be vocal, and that means that I've had a lot of people reaching out to me with information. A couple of months ago, I had a British girl reach out to me, and she said that her and her friend met Jeffrey Epstein in Virginia the weekend of March 10th, 2001, at the Dorchester Hotel. Virginia lured them to Jeffrey's hotel. She made the girls lie and say that they were 18 years old. One was 13, one was 14. They actually signed NDAs with Virginia, and David Boies paid them off. Now, they're too scared to come out.
Well, unless you've got evidence for any of that, I'm not going to just allow you to spew any cock and bull conspiracy theory that has come to your mind.
Once David Boies, it might take to the point where he passes away, and then I feel like the floodgates will open, and all. Well, you know what?
David Boies might well sue you. David Boies might well sue you over what you've just said.
Well,
it's a
these
very
girls
serious
are
defamation.
in touch with the Metropolitan Police. So what I want to tell you is, I'm very much in touch with the police, literally on WhatsApp, and they know a lot of information that you guys are not privy to. But
do you know what, Victoria? With the greatest respect, I think you talk utter shit.
All right.
And I'm sorry. I've known you a long time. I think you've disappeared down a conspiracy rabbit hole that is frankly repulsive.
I've always been right about my conspiracies. You were wrong about COVID and you were wrong about the vaccine.
You don't give a damn about these girls. You don't give a damn about these victims. You think it's fine to smear all of them. You admit it. You proudly admit it. And I think it's shameful.
Why would I feel sorry for people that are liars?
We now know from these documents just how disgusting the scandal is, and yet still you come on shows like this and you're still in total denial for reasons that completely baffle me.
Can we talk about the quality of girls? So Anushka DeGiorgio as an example. You know what she did? Like, this is the caliber of person we're talking about. Anushka DeGiorgio.
Actually, I'm not going to let you smear them. I'm sorry. I'm not.
She was the girl that set up Tom Parker
No, I'm not going to let you do it. Sorry,
she
cut
did
it,
it.
Mike.
She did that long story.
I'm not letting you do it. I'm not letting you smear these victims anymore. I'm just not going to let you do it. Just cut her off. Ollie Dugmore, this is an extraordinary scandal in so many ways. But, I mean, in your lifetime, have you ever seen...
People were...
I agree with you.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I was going to bring Spencer in here because also these aren't, in many cases, these victims aren't women, they're girls. They're young girls. I've got a 14-year-old daughter. These are young girls, right? Who were being passed around, these rich, powerful, famous predators to use and abuse. That is what is crystal clear now from these files as more and more come out. And this is just the stuff they've shown us. We don't even know what's in the other 3 million. I mean, God knows what's in there. But it's horrific. And yet there is a lot of accountability going on in the UK. But as I said to Rokana earlier, there seems to be no accountability going on in the United States. Why do you think that is?
It's despicable. It's just very frustrating. It's a different take on society because we've become so hyper-politicized here in the States between the Republicans and the Democrats, and you've got to pick a team and then just defend your team regardless of what the facts show, that nobody wants to accept reality. And history will ultimately be the judge. You know, I am very comfortable sitting in the place I am because of 20 years ago, the work I did on these cases. I can look back on that and feel proud about the advocacy I did on behalf of these young girls. I don't think that that will be the same for some of the politicians and very wealthy people that are in these files now, or even the people defending them, like Lady Hervey. I think that history will look and judge them very poorly looking back on this.
Yeah, I agree. Panel, thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
I want to go back to one specific thing she said because I think it reveals the entire mindset of the elite class that protected Jeffrey Epstein for decades. She actually said, and I'm quoting here, "If you're not mentioned in the files, you're a loser." Think about that. That wasn't a slip of the tongue. It was a confession. To Lady Victoria Hervey and the circle surrounding Prince Andrew, being in that little black book, being close to that level of power and abuse, isn't a source of shame. It's a status symbol. It's a VIP club. They are genuinely confused why the rest of us are disgusted by it. What we just watched was a head-on collision between aristocratic delusion and cold, hard reality. When the conspiracy theories didn't work, she tried to gaslight the audience. When the gaslighting failed, she literally invented a fake FBI statement on the fly. And when all else failed, she went for the lowest tactic in the book, smearing the victims. I have to give credit where it's due. Piers Morgan handled this exactly right. When someone uses a national platform to re-victimize girls who were trafficked, you don't debate them. You cut their mic, you tell them they are talking utter rubbish, and you move on. That wasn't rudeness. That was necessary journalistic hygiene. The panelist Ollie hit the nail on the head at the end. This isn't just about royalty. It's about a group of men and the women who protect them who view human beings as collectibles or commodities. The British public seems ready to burn the whole system down over this. The real question is, will the American establishment ever face that same level of accountability? Was this the most delusional interview of the year? Honestly, it's a frontrunner. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think Prince Andrew can survive this new wave of evidence, or is the royal protection finally wearing thin? Drop a comment below. I'm jumping in to respond to as many as I can. And look, we are so close to our goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the week. If you want a channel that doesn't pull punches and holds the elite to account, hit that subscribe button and the like button right now.